can you use the strategy, use a model, to help you solve a percent problem? Hello, this is my friend Pamela. Yesterday, we heard our neighbors talking about an upcoming event. They are taking a scenic hot air balloon ride next month. Let's check out the hot air balloon to find out more. For everyone in the family to go on the ride, it will cost them $140. But they need to pay 25% of the cost ahead of time. I wonder how much money they need to pay now. To find out, we will need to learn how to use a model to solve problems with percents. Come on. Let's help Stefan find how much protein is in his cereal bar. The recommended daily amount of protein is about 50 grams. One super protein cereal bar contains 18% of that amount of protein. If Stefan eats one super protein cereal bar per day, how much protein will he need to get from another source to meet the recommended daily amount? Let's unlock this problem. First, read the problem. What do you need to find? You need to find the number of grams of protein in one cereal bar and the number of grams of protein Stefan must get from another source. What information is given? You already know the recommended daily amount of protein. You also know what percent of that amount a single cereal bar contains. Let's make a plan to solve this problem. How will you use the information? You can draw a model to find the grams of protein in the cereal bar. Then subtract that amount from the recommended daily amount. Let's solve the problem. First, draw a bar model to represent 100%. How many grams of protein are in 100% of the recommended daily amount? 50 grams of protein is equal to 100% of the recommended daily amount. How much of the recommended daily amount is in the cereal bar? Since the cereal bar has 18% of the recommended daily amount, it also has 18% of the 50 grams needed. To solve, first find how many grams of protein are in 1%. There are 50 hundredths of a gram in 1%. Now, multiply that amount by 18. How many grams are in 18%? 9 grams. So 18% of 50 is 9. How many more grams of protein does Stefan need to get from another source? Since the cereal bar has 9 grams of protein, subtract that amount from the recommended daily amount. To find the answer, subtract 9 from 50. So Stefan needs 41 grams of protein from another source. Let's help Lee find out how much more money she needs. Lee has saved 45% of the money she needs to buy a pair of jeans that cost $32. How much money does Lee have, and how much more money does she need to buy the jeans? Let's unlock this problem. First, read the problem. What do you need to find? You need to find the amount of money Lee has and the amount she still needs. What information is given? You know that the jeans Lee wants to buy cost $32 and that she has saved 45% of that amount. Now, let's make a plan to solve this problem. How will you use the information? You can draw a model to find how much money Lee has saved, and then subtract the money Lee has saved from the price of the jeans. Now, let's solve the problem. First, bar model to represent 100%. What's the price of the jeans? 100% of the price of the jeans is $32. What percent of the price of the jeans has Lee saved? Lee has saved 45% of the $32. You can find how much money Lee has saved by finding 1% of $32 and then multiplying that amount by 45. To solve, first find 1% of $32. 1% of $32 is 32 cents. Now multiply that amount by 45. What's 45% of the cost of the jeans? 45% of the cost of the jeans is $14.40. How much more money does Lee need to buy the jeans? You can subtract the amount Lee has saved from the total amount she needs. What's $32 minus $14.40? $17.60. So Lee still needs $17.60 to have enough money for the jeans. Is there a different way this problem could be solved? You could say that Lee saved 45% of the money for the jeans and still needs the other 55%. You know 1% of $32 is 32 cents. Multiply that amount by 55. So 55% of $32 is also $17.60. A geologist visits 45 volcanoes in Alaska and California. 20% of the volcanoes are in California. How many volcanoes does the geologist visit in California and how many in Alaska? Begin by making a bar model. How many volcanoes make up 100% of the volcanoes the geologist visited? That's right. The geologist visited 45 volcanoes in all, which means 45 equals 100%. To find how many volcanoes the geologist visited, first find 1% of 45. Type the answer and then click Check. Correct. 1% of 45 is 45 hundredths. What problem should you solve next to find how many volcanoes the geologist visited in California? Good job. You should multiply 45 hundredths by 20. So how many volcanoes did the geologist visit in California? Type the answer. Excellent. The geologist visited 9 volcanoes in California. Finally, subtract to find how many volcanoes the geologist visited in Alaska. Type the answer. Great job. 45 minus 9 is 36. The geologist visited 9 volcanoes in California and 36 volcanoes in Alaska. Now let's